Yay!
Welcome to Tuesday.
It
First
is
Tuesday,
Tuesday.
first Tuesday of October, which is exciting, I guess. We are officially in spooky season.
I mean, that's exciting, but it's also sad because that means Halloween's closer to being over.
And the year in general.
Oh, I
Hello,
don't care about
hello.
that.
I missed the volley on that one.
Open up the safe, bitches got a lot to say. To see in your face, that'll put you in your place. 7 letters on the plate, fuck you and I play.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the bits. How's your Tuesday? We were going to start an hour ago, but here we are.
It happens.
Mornings are hard.
We were up and ready, just not motivated.
Well, and then, like, as we're setting stuff up, we just start talking about things. And then it's like, shit, it's been 30 minutes. Should probably get on this, huh?
But it makes your day so much better.
You get your coffee and your breakfast. I'm glad your day is going good. Hopefully you have some exciting plans.
You're being
I
picked
needed
on
a
already.
bonk. That's what you get for existing. Evil frog life. I'm gonna make that into a trending hashtag. Evil frog life. It's like a gang.
It's like the shittiest motorcycle gang in existence.
You don't even ride motorcycles. You just are riding around on
You're on your
scooters.
like mobility scooter.
Yeah. Your evil acts are just like tipping over garbage cans in offices.
And croaking at people instead of cat calling.
I could get behind that. Sounds like a gang I would want to be a part of. Sometimes it just be like that, where you just want to create some chaos, but you also feel bad because Susan at the DMV didn't actually wrong you.
You try to litter, but immediately go back and pick it up.
You just do it for the clout, make sure everybody's watching you, and then you come back around. Apologize to no one. Breakfast pizza?
Breakfast pizza is the best pizza.
Same with breakfast tacos. Oh my god. So I had to go get my oil changed.
Yikes forever.
Yikes forever me. Breakfast pizza is where it's at. It's almost lunchtime for you.
I mean, one would argue it's almost lunchtime for us, too.
It is. It's like prime brunch time. Yeah, 2 hours, you just get a snack. Get you a protein bar. Be good.
Drink more coffee.
That's what I do. I just drink coffee, water, and soda until noon. So I had to go get my oil changed in the great town up north. The super Mormon
Okay.
one. And the lady there has no idea how to work the TV. We're like the first appointment of the day, so like she's getting everything turned on. They don't make coffee because Mormons don't drink coffee. So she's trying to get this TV going and she can't figure it out. And she was like, I would turn on the college football game, but I don't know how. So she turns on this, like, I don't know, morning talk show and they're cooking. It's like a kitchen episode. And they're talking about how, like, different kitchen gadgets, blah, blah. But then they go to make tacos. out of pancakes. And so they're sitting there and they're like, oh, haha, you know what we should call these? Pacos. And I'm like, no, can we not do this? It was. They made like savory pancake tacos, which, meh, whatever. So it was like the shell was a pancake, and then they put sausage and cheese and chives and all this stuff in there. And then they just drenched the entire thing in syrup.
Ew.
Yeah. I'm like, I hate it here. I fucking hate it here. It was not good.
I mean, I don't understand the pancakes as shells thing because they would not be structurally sound.
They weren't at all.
Like you fold them in half already, they're like ripped in half.
It looked like the most awkward thing that you could possibly eat at a brunch.
Like maybe an open faced taco.
Yeah, but then you have to eat it with a fork, and then at that point, it's not a taco anymore. It's just a
Agreed.
pancake. Like, you could maybe say it was a torta, but it's not a taco. I have a dog that really wants to sit in my lap.
But
The
you're
said dog
mean.
is too big to actually fit in my lap.
My dog effed off because I wasn't going to play fetch anymore.
You gotta put these dogs on payroll. We can get a dog cam. It can entertain you. Because he's just pissing me off. I'm not giving you a cookie.
But he hasn't had his 42 for the day.
He's had like 3. Yeah, see, a crepe might work better than a pancake, but I still feel like you're not achieving taco. Maybe burrito. But at that point, I'd rather just have a tortilla.
Right? Like just make breakfast burritos.
Yeah.
Fine. I don't know. Like pancakes and crepes are just super sweet, and that seems too much for
So when I go out
breakfast.
to breakfast, I order like typically an omelet with hash browns. And then I get pancakes for dessert.
Yeah. Or you eat breakfast for lunch or dinner.
Yeah. But always savory. Very rarely do I just eat pancakes.
Yeah, because they're sweet.
Yeah. Omelets are the best. They're my favorite. Except for this last one that I got. Because they
That's because
didn't
they're
scramble my eggs all the way, so there was like white.
yeah, that shit's gross.
I couldn't do it.
But omelets are amazing because they're like pizza. You can have any toppings you want.
Yeah.
So you can eat it for like every meal and they'll always be different.
Like
Sandwiches.
today will be bacon, tomorrow will be sausage. Your dad does make the best omelets. I will agree with you. I'm sorry y'all didn't get to experience the omelets on a regular basis like we did. We got spoiled. I also regret nothing.
I mean, no one said that there had to be regrets. Our dad did not make the best omelets.
No.
Sometimes they were runny on the inside, and sometimes they were a little too overcooked on the outside.
I think
I
I do
think it's
decent at an
I think it's
omelet,
because he always did like 4 egg omelets in
which
like
is
a
too
medium
much.
pan. So it was way too much for that pan.
Omelets are like, I don't know. I feel like omelets are an advanced cooking technique, but if you fuck up an omelet, you can just make scrambled eggs. So it's okay.
Agreed. That's you can never go wrong with omelets. And you can make them while camping if you have like a grill,
Yeah?
like a camp chef.
Camping food just tastes better. It's all the dirt and bugs. Just changes the flavor of things.
Okay, I disagree with the bugs. The bugs can fuck off.
I'm not saying you want them. I'm just saying they add a little spice.
No, they ruin lives.
Like, if you don't have wasps eating your omelet with you, are you even camping? No, probably not.
I mean, you could come to my house and get attacked by wasps.
I don't want to.
Then you can have the joy of camping, I guess.
Only if I smell like a campfire.
We can light some shit on fire.
Deal. So, last month, Mothman Festival. Do an annual festival just to celebrate the history and mystery of the Mothman.
And it gets bigger every year. They somewhat recently added a statue.
Yeah? It's kind of wild.
What is it, like an 8-foot or 11-foot tall statue? Something like that?
Yeah. It's cute. It's not. It's kind of scary, actually. I'm not gonna lie. I like these little cute cryptids, right? Like, this is my jam. Like a cute little Mothman selling lemonade. That's how I want it to be.
Like the big scary ass, like Wicker Man style?
No. I am a big baby and I don't want that.
See, that's why we couldn't be cryptoid hunters, because if we ever saw the real thing, we would cry and never want to leave our house.
Or I feel like the other option would be like, do you want to be friends? Do you want a hug?
I brought jerky.
Do you think they all eat jerky?
I don't know. I just know Bigfoot's around here and he supposedly eats jerky.
I don't
Commercials
know.
wouldn't lie to me, right?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. But I think this goes back when we were talking about the Loch Ness and how that drives tourism. Same thing applies here.
Dude, I think that's the only reason that Mothman exists. I gotta be real. He's just a tourist attraction.
He really is. I feel like by researching all this, I feel like the possibility of a Mothman is pretty low. And the facts around it are kind of all over the place, like very contradiction. So, like with the Loch Ness Monster, I feel like you can be like, it's possible. Mothman less so.
Yeah, there's only been, what, like 3 sightings? And then
Look at my mustache. Look at
I
my
do
mustache.
like it.
I want one of these in real life. A rainbow mustache.
I mean, I don't think it would be hard to make.
It probably wouldn't. It would look fabulous.
But there's only like 3 or 4 confirmed sightings, and the rest have all just been people that are like, I mean, maybe I saw that in the distance.
And I feel like with Loch Ness, right, that started beginning of time.
Yeah, not the 60s when people started,
Doing massive amounts of drugs?
yeah, I was trying to find a nicer way of putting that.
There's no nicety here. So,
You know, trying not to just blame LSD.
I'm just saying it might have contributed to the Mothman enigma. So the first, confirmed, we'll say confirmed, the first confirmed sighting happened November 15th. Oh, doing a Mothman dance?
Mothman.
Mothman? Best friend? Haha, more like winged nightmare. So November 15th, 1966. So this is pretty modern. This isn't like a Christian saint had a run in with the Loch Ness Monster.
No, this is a time frame where a lot of people are still alive from it.
So there were two couples from Point Pleasant, Roger and Linda Scarberry and Stephen Mary Millette. They told the police that they saw a large white creature whose eyes were glowing red. So, okay, let's look at this. This is what they say they saw. How do we go from this to this?
CGI.
Said about 7 feet tall, white wings. She couldn't discern the face because the eyes were too hypnotic. So they drive away as fast as they can, and this thing chased after their car, screeching, which is also kind of weird because I don't think moths screech. I could be wrong. I've not heard one, but
I don't know if moths make sounds, like, other than with their wings.
yeah. So this happened, and then for the next few days, other people kind of reported similar sightings, and then the newspaper reports on it. A couple of firemen saw it, and they said it was like a large bird with red eyes, which I think kind of people are saying, well, maybe it's not a Mothman, maybe it's just a bird.
Yeah, because there's like a white crane with red eye markings
Like this boy right here.
that they think flew out of its normal migration and therefore ended up in a weird area.
Which I guess is possible. We did have flamingos end up in Pennsylvania.
Well, it didn't sound like the bird was too far out of migration, just
Well, and these birds are like as tall as a man,
yeah, they're 7 feet tall.
and they have a ginormous 7-foot wingspan. Like, this would be pretty intimidating, I think, to come across.
And I would assume that their eyes are like normal animal eyes where they reflect light,
Yeah, I would say
so
so.
they would look like they glow.
I think that's reasonable.
So, I mean, I'm sure the initial sighting probably was like just a big bird. And birds screech.
Yeah, that's fair. So it could be a bird. That's possible. I have a hard time. The only thing is like, I don't know. This thing is pretty humanoid in comparison to a crane. I mean, I guess if you put some pants on this dude, maybe could look like a man.
I mean, they never actually said it was a man, though. So,
Well, they did say it was humanoid.
yeah,
And
but
like
from a
this
but if you
picture,
think
this
they're
is a
like far
leg.
away, you might not question the super skinny legs.
Maybe, maybe
Or
not.
if it's like in tall grass or in water, you wouldn't necessarily see the legs, just the upper torso area.
I like to just assume this thing has some really nice shoes on?
I mean, it looks like clawed feet, but shoes.
This is just a
Sure.
pedicure. But those were really like the majority of sightings. Like a handful of people in 66.
And somehow it blew up into this huge thing that
Well, so
people
that
still go
happened
searching for.
November of 1966. But then we have this bridge that ends up collapsing a year later. So this is the Silver Bridge. And this thing, I feel like modern Marvel.
Yeah, and
I
like
think that's
they were
fair.
doing inspections every year.
So this thing opened in 1926, and it was like the latest, greatest innovation bridge of the time. This thing is like almost 1,800 feet long, and it's a suspension bridge. And it's got a 700-foot span. It's 102 feet above the water. Like, this thing's massive. And there were bridges that were copycatted, and those are still in use today. So obviously this design is somewhat stable. So in 1965, there was an inspection. They did like $30,000 worth of repairs on it. And then you have 2 more inspections that are done in the summer of 67. The final visit from the commission happens on December 6th. And then on December 15th, the bridge folds completely, like just gone. It takes,
46 people with it.
yeah, like this was the pretty decent disaster. But after this happens, people later come back and they're like, oh, well, actually, I saw the Mothman there before the bridge collapsed. Which kind of makes me wonder if there was actually stuff that they saw, or if it was like a haha, probably Mothman.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with haha because at the time people just reported like a gunshot
Yeah,
sound.
well,
They
I can
said
only
nothing about
imagine.
visuals.
And also,
And
like,
then,
you're in a time of chaos, so you've got to see, like, some crazy shit happening.
but like weeks later, you're like, oh, also Mothman. That just seems a little made up.
But then, this guy, John Keel, wrote a couple books. His first book came out in 1970 called Operation Trojan Horse. Then in 75, he writes The Mothman Prophecies, which ends up becoming a film later on down the road. Like, much later on down the road. Like, what, 2002? So, The Mothman Prophecies, this guy goes into some pretty decent detail. Also, I don't know. In the
You have to
Loch
be
Ness
this
story,
hardcore
we
for it.
had that shady looking dude. I feel like this dude, yeah, he's selling you a used car.
And it's shaped like a moth.
Yeah, like this dude just, again, I feel like sometimes you just look at people and you're like, nope, wouldn't trust that. I don't trust your opinion. I don't
I
trust whatever
feel
you're
like,
selling.
I gotta be honest, it looks like he's like, I promise you, I'm a professor. I'm just, my degree's in the mail.
Yeah, I could see that. Oh, I just haven't got it yet. It's in storage.
It's in my other suit jacket.
Like, this dude just doesn't, I don't know. He looks like he could like maybe teach drama at the local middle school.
He's a librarian.
And not the cool kind. Like the one that tries to be friends with all the kids and you're like, "Sir, no, you're too old." So he writes this book. It kind of blows up. His
Which I
book.
don't understand.
Okay, I think though, to be fair, I think the 60s and 70s, I mean, this is when we're going to the moon and things like that are happening. And I feel like
LSD.
people just need an excuse or a reason as to why certain things happen. Like, this is when UFOs are becoming big, that kind of stuff. So I think it's safe to say that these books are kind of a big deal in the 60s and 70s. I mean, you've got your Ancient Alien, that Eric von Daniken. He writes The Chariot of Gods. And that book blows up about ancient alien theories. I think people just want to believe. Maybe. That's my theory anyway.
I mean, I'm sure people just want to believe because people want to believe anything.
And I think it's easier when you don't understand something to blame something. Like, why did this bridge suddenly break? That shouldn't have happened. Oh, probably because of aliens. You
Yeah,
see?
and so his theory is that all these hallucinations are caused from psychic entities. And so they aren't actually aliens or Mothmen or
Well, and to take it a
Nessie.
step further, like he doesn't believe in extraterrestrial origin. He believes in ultra terrestrial theory, which is the idea that inside the Earth's core is a whole nother civilization.
And that they have psychic abilities that
Mm-hmm.
they mess with our brains to hallucinate things like monsters and aliens so that we will do what they want us to do and tweak our futures.
This
That
guy,
sounds rational.
this guy though, 100%. Yeah, see, good drugs in the 60s. And the government did tests with LSD. However, I'm going to take it a step further because this dude 100% believes that UFOs, Men in Black, the ultra terrestrials are all buds and they're trying to take over the world. Like, that's what he believes. So, like, the government doing tests with LSD, huge conspiracy.
Yeah, they're trying to use the psychic aliens' abilities.
Like,
It
I
makes
just,
so much sense. Why are you questioning it?
there very well could be lizard people that live in the core of the earth. I don't
But see,
know.
that was kind of his theory, was that all these things exist, but that's not what they really look like. They're just a hallucination so that they can hide the true beings.
And he doesn't believe necessarily in the ancient alien theory. He believes that the human race was actually created genetically by giant birdmen mating with earth women.
Because again, that makes sense.
Also, I feel like they do run all the government banks and military. You are correct. That's facts. Don't trust your neighbor. Probably a lizard person.
Just do eye staring contacts with like everyone until you see them blink and you know if they have like a second eyelid.
Yeah, you should be doing that with everybody.
Oh, God, can you imagine that's like how you introduce yourself?
Yeah, so the book The Host, I think that pretty much sums up what this dude kind of thinks is going on. We could be a virus. It's very possible.
It's the Matrix.
I think it's kind of wild to believe that UFOs aren't UFOs and aliens aren't aliens. They're just men in black Mothman babies. I don't even know. So this dude, like when the Mothman Prophecy movie comes out, this somebody gets a hold of Keel and they're like, "Hey, what's up? Do you really believe this stuff?" And Keel ends up making excuses why he can't sit down and have a meeting with this dude for whatever reason. And this happens in the 2000s. So, I don't know. I don't know that he necessarily believed everything that he originally said he did. Again, I think it's safe to say that in the 60s and 70s, you can believe
Maybe.
one thing, and now that we're in the 2000s, you're like, okay, well, technology says that's probably not the case.
Maybe. He wrote it as a fictitious story and people believed it, and now he's like, well, shit, it's a bestseller. I'm not going to backtrack it now.
That could be fair. That could be fair. But there is also other media attention surrounding the Mothman. Like Batman in the late 60s, early 70s. Huge. Like superhero stuff kind of took off. But he had a villain called Killer Moth who didn't appear in the show, but in the comic book, he was in there. And so some people think that maybe the Mothman idea came from seeing Killer Moth in Batman comics.
Which would explain the color change.
That's very possible.
Because Batman didn't have like a bunch of bright colors.
Nor did Killer Moth. I don't know if you've seen Killer Moth. Let me find a picture here for you.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the comics, like the villains and stuff, like Poison Ivy was still like a dark foresty green.
Let me.
So other than Joker and Harley Quinn, they weren't like super bright colors compared to like Superman.
Yeah. Well, let me show you Killer Moth here. This was like later
So maybe
on.
that's how we went from a white moth
I mean,
creature
but this is
to.
like black and white.
I'm just saying, maybe that's how we got from white to black.
Or like this one. Because again, things are ever changing. Here's another, like, this is later. You can tell by the Batman. This one. Like, this is 90s cartoons, right?
Well, yeah, it's Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. Like this, red glowing eyes. So it makes me wonder if maybe
That show
Batman,
was awesome.
but maybe Batman took some inspiration from Mothman and not the other way around.
Well, I'm sure that's what happened, but I'm wondering if the image of Mothman changed from being a white monster to a black moth monster.
I mean, you've seen moths in real life. There's really not a lot of dark colored moths. There's a few, but not many.
But I would think, if anything, that Batman probably took the idea from what is it, Mothra?
Oh, yeah, that could be.
Because there's not other like cryptoids in Batman. Like you don't have Bigfoot.
That you know of. Those are coming
I mean,
later.
I think he was in the Wasn't there like a Scooby Doo Batman crossover? That might have been Bigfoot or something like that.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, their
That's
monsters
Scooby
always turn
Doo.
out to be humans, so.
And that's Scooby Doo. Not Batman. He just happened to be in it.
And there's been like a lot of. Like, Mothman was pretty stuck in Point Pleasant. You're not seeing a bunch of sightings, right? Like, Bigfoot is the entirety of the Pacific Northwest. And then
Oh,
you've got.
But Mothman went to Russia in the 80s.
He did. And they're saying that maybe his sightings are foreshadowing bad things to come. Because in 1999, the Russians had an apartment bombing, like a terrorist attack. And so people are saying maybe Mothman didn't cause the bridge to collapse. Maybe Mothman was just there as a Nostradamus to tell you that the bridge was going to collapse. There has also
He's like
been.
an angel.
Yeah. So they're saying maybe he's not a bad guy. Maybe he's just misunderstood.
So,
There's also
natural
been.
disasters are like fire and it attracts moths. That's
Yeah.
what we're learning.
All right. I can no longer snooze this ad. I've been trying. So we're going to take a quick little ad break. So grab your drinks, go use the bathroom, and then we'll get back into this.
You wanna go away?
Mothman.
I like that it just ends there.
Hey! 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 Listen! Flo! Watch out! Hey! Hey! Listen! Flo! Hey! Listen! Hey! Listen! Watch out!
I hate Navi so much, by the way.
Just remember, you can open doors with A.
Thanks for the lurk, Akma. I hate Navi.
Surprisingly, Navi doesn't annoy the crap out of me.
She paid attention to me.
Though, I gotta be honest, I kinda wish that's what we had named our dog.
I mean, that would track, though. Just dogs in general.
Or our cat. Our cat would fit that too.
Animals could be Navi. I'll give you that. So anyway,
Minding
Mothman,
your own business.
a good dude. Misunderstood.
Maybe.
He just foreshadows things. Bad things that are gonna happen.
So maybe that couple, well, those two couples up on like Lover's Peak there, maybe something bad was gonna happen.
Ooh,
And
like
he's
they
no,
probably would have gotten
get in your
wrecks and
car
died.
and leave.
There's gonna be an earthquake here soon.
The cliff's gonna cave in. There's a serial killer that's like killing couples on Valentine's Day.
Ooh. Like, there were even reports that Mothman was sighted at 9/11 at the Twin Towers.
Yeah, I won't make the joke I was gonna make. Never mind.
Too
Backpedal
soon.
that.
Too soon.
I'll be good.
Just send it in, just put it in the Discord behind the scenes.
Yeah, I'll get on that.
Oh, I couldn't volley that one either. I've been practicing my soccer moves.
It's paying off.
It's not. So the first annual festival's in 2002. Oh, see, I could get those ones because there's so many of them. First festival. So this has been going on for 21 years.
I know, I'm kind of sad we missed it. It was
Next
last
year.
week
Yeah.
or
Well,
2 weeks ago.
a couple weeks ago. Because it happens third weekend of every September. But, like, this town of Point Pleasant is like 5,000 people. That's the population. But on this weekend, the average attendance is like 10 to 12,000 people every year. So it's kind of, again, tourism. Right? They've got guest speakers and vendors and exhibits and pancake eating contests. I don't really understand, like, the correlation of pancakes and Mothman, but here we are.
It's because you mentioned pancake tacos.
It's true.
Got manifested. They're together now.
So I think...
Oh, maybe because moths eat nectar.
Oh,
you
so
have
they
to have
like
sweet
syrup?
food. Yeah.
Oh, I got that one with my face. We like the Nemo pop. It's my favorite global emote right now. I'm so cute. So I'm kind of with you. Even if they thought this was a thing, at this point it's just a money grab.
Oh yeah, quite evidently.
Like, you know, you can charge $300 a night with your shitty Airbnb on the third weekend of September.
And let's be real, every sighting since then has been like weeks after a bad thing happened. They're like,
Oh yeah, also,
oh yeah, wink wink, I saw a Mothman.
yeah. Again, I feel like there are some things that logically you can talk yourself into. Like, even with the Loch Ness Monster, is it a dinosaur? Meh, probably not. But could it be some sort of aquatic creature that's just misidentified?
Or like descended from that and hasn't mutated.
Yeah, like, I feel like you can sit there and be like, all right, I can see that being a thing. Or even Bigfoot, where you're like, maybe.
I have my own theory about Bigfoot that actually could be quite feasible.
We'll get into that next week. I'm excited. But even with Bigfoot, you're like, all right, could there be an undiscovered ape species that we just didn't know about? And I understand when you live in a highly densely populated area, you're like, there's no fucking way. But like where we live, 80% of our area is wilderness. Like, there's no roads or...
And it's highly not recommended to go out into it because there's bears and moose.
Yeah.
You're gonna die.
Like, even real close to us. Oh, you want to go see that lake? You can't take a vehicle. You can hike or
Well,
take
we
a
don't recommend
horse.
taking dogs because it attracts
Yeah.
other animals.
So again, logically, I feel like you can be like, it could be. At least kind of in this Pacific Northwest area, this is a possibility. But with the Mothman, I'm just like, I don't see how. I
You
don't,
don't think he's somehow hiding in the cornfields?
I mean, I guess. Again, not super familiar with West Virginia, so maybe it could be a possibility. But then if you also think that he's an ultra terrestrial, West Virginia got some crater that these things are crawling out of easily.
I think they have a lot of like cave systems over there though. So I mean there is theoretically like a bat cave he could be coming out of that goes pretty deep.
But then, why isn't he a bat and not a moth?
Because Batman already existed, so they needed
Right.
Mothman.
But they could have capitalized on a Batman way easier. Oh, you got your Batman in your comics? Come here and you can see the real thing. Also, he's terrifying. Don't look in his eyes. Drugs are bad.
I also don't think that the Earth is hollow and has things living in it, so it's hard to believe that he came from below ground.
Okay, but do you have a harder time believing that there's a whole other civilization inside the core versus UFOs, like aliens?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to be
I
clear.
would have a higher probability of believing in aliens than I mean, let's be real, the idea that we are the only intelligent being in the entire universe.
Is kind of a wild take.
Yeah.
Like, statistically, not possible. Again, though, do I think they come here for vacation? Probably not. I guess they
I mean, if they
could.
do, we're a zoo. I feel like we're the dumb ones. I gotta be honest.
I mean, just pick up any news platform and you'll see that's the case.
So I feel like they haven't made like contact because they're like, dude, these guys are dumb. We just smile and wave and drive past.
I mean, maybe. Do not get out of the car, lock the doors.
Roll up the damn windows.
I found this one. Can we take it home?
Absolutely not. It has rabies. Yeah, I feel like that would be the case.
So you've driven through West Virginia, mountainous. Okay, when you quotation mountainous, what does that mean? In comparison to our mountainous areas. See, and the fog and rain, I think, do play an
Molehills.
important part. Because when you've got low visibility, the chances of you seeing things, I think, is higher. Like, think about when you're in a snowstorm or anything like that.
Oh my god, now all I can envision is that someone that was like super tall put a goddamn sheet on their head and was like, oh my god, I'm gonna go scare some people and be like, boo. And it turned out that people were like, it's a moth. I know it.
Yeah. I
And
think
it was really just a sheet ghost.
that kind of gives me life, I'm not gonna lie. But I think that's a possibility. Small in elevation compared to ours, all right. Well, they are,
Oh, yeah,
like,
molehills.
they are, sea level, right? Because they're on the coast. Am I crazy here?
I don't know. On this rare occasion, I'm going to say, no, you're not crazy. But ask me in an hour.
All right. Well, I guess technically they're not on the coast, but close enough to the coast, I would imagine that their elevation is pretty low in comparison to where we're at.
I mean, a lot of places have lower elevation than we do.
Yeah.
We space cadets. I mean that in nice terms, I think.
Maybe. So I do think fog and rain play an important part in any sort of...
I mean, that would better explain a giant bird
Yeah.
being confused as a bug.
Yeah. Because that bird is white or
And not
neutral
native to that
color.
state.
So neutral color, but it does have bright red eye patches. And I feel like in the fog, that's what you would notice. You wouldn't necessarily notice.
Oh yeah, and didn't the firemen say that the creature they saw had reflective eyes like a cat?
Yeah. Which I think most animal species have reflective eyes. Because they were saying it was kind of like the equivalent of a bicycle reflector. Yeah, I think it is the Blue Ridge Mountains. I think you're right. And there is a lot of caves going on. Like, a lot of caves going on. So, ultra-terrestrials are a thing.
And apparently they look like moths.
I mean...
I feel like this is the whole, like, Nessie is a horse thing.
Yeah. But again, like, in my head, logically, I can justify the Loch Ness Monster. And be like, it's possible.
I mean, I want a giant moth to exist.
I do too.
Like, let's be real. A giant moth is less terrifying than, like, a Loch Ness Monster, because as long as you have fire, you're fine.
Yeah, but then it's just going to come towards you. You're going to catch it on fire, and then it's going to panic, light you on fire.
Not if you have hairspray. You could
Also,
just,
like, how...
flamethrower it.
Okay, so, but I can see how you do that with a moth. A normal household moth. How you doing that with a 7-foot moth? That
With a
sounds like
6-foot
chaos.
flamethrower.
I just
Could be
assume I'm
fun.
now going to see you with a flamethrower at every function we're at. No
Gonna start
pepper
packing
spray.
all kinds of weapons everywhere. Like, I have my can of hairspray. I got a gigantic lighter. I got me a katana. You just never know.
This is just to protect me from cryptids. It's fine.
I'm gonna wear a tinfoil hat so Cthulhu can't talk to me.
That's smart. That's smart.
I mean, tinfoil's gonna fuck up my brainwaves in different ways, because that shit's bad for your health to put on your head, but, you know.
Have you thought about trying LSD?
I have not. Would you like to sell me on this? Because I don't think you are.
I'm just saying, after your brainwaves get jacked up by the tinfoil, then you can start taking LSD, and you'll be fine.
Was it LSD or some other drug that actually calmed people down that had like super bad anxiety problems?
Ooh, I don't know.
Like they did a test back in the 60s and then they took the drug away and now people are very upset because it actually calmed them down and kept them normal.
That could have been an LSD situation.
I read really weird science journals apparently. How are illegal drugs good for us?
I mean, we used to take cocaine, right? As cough syrup.
That is true. And then just, as soda.
I think
It's fine.
life would be a lot more entertaining if we still had cocaine and coke.
I just think it's funny that the timeline at the Coke Museum just like blacklists those times.
They were dark times.
You don't know what happened during this time frame. Weird.
Also, like, imagine just getting a prescription for whiskey and cocaine. Go, you've got a cold? It's fine. Here.
It probably would have been tonic water, not whiskey, though.
Maybe both.
Wasn't tonic water like used for malaria or something?
I have no idea. I would have to do some deep dive research into.
Good luck.
Yeah. I'm going to try not to get hyper focused on that.
Are
I
there
don't.
other cryptoids like Mothman?
Well, you've got like giant bats and stuff.
Well, I'm saying like that could theoretically be the same thing. Because like
Mm,
Bigfoot, you have Yeti. They could be the same species, just mutated for different areas.
I mean, nothing is coming to mind. I mean, that doesn't mean anything, but
I mean, I guess a giant bat could be Mothman adjacent.
there is yeah, I don't really see a whole lot.
Because, like we mentioned last week, Nessie and Kelpies could be the same monster being sighted at different locations.
So you're flying cryptids. You've got the Jersey Devil, which is like a winged horse. So I don't really classify that the same. Then you've got Mothman. Then you've got Ropin, which is the bat creature. That's in New Guinea. And then you have the Thunderbird, which is a giant bird in like Native American creation
Yeah, but
story kind of
that's
stuff.
similar to like Phoenix.
Yeah. So I really don't know that there's something super similar to Mothman. Yeah, Paragoric was pretty amazing.
And addicting.
That part's not important. Don't worry about that part.
Okay.
We're just talking about the benefits of drugs.
Dude, a lot of drugs had like really good side effects with the really bad ones.
It's true. But it's kind of like when you take prescription drugs and they're like, a side effect of this is death. And you're like, yeah, but at least I won't feel like throwing up every 20 minutes.
I mean, some would argue that that is worse than death.
That's fair.
I feel like we're Poppy from what is it? Foamy? No. Crap, I
Oh,
can't remember the squirrel's name now.
yeah, Foamy the Squirrel.
Yeah,
What
his friend
was his
Poppy.
name?
His friend's name was Poppy,
Okay.
the pill happy squirrel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I feel like we are right now. I take this drug and it's got a side effect of death, but it's okay because I take this other drug which counteracts death. Okay, buddy.
I mean, I guess if you're counteracting the bad stuff, that's all that matters.
He also put diet pills in ice cream so he could eat ice cream and enjoy it.
I feel like this all tracks. These are big brain ideas. You can't say that they're not.
I mean, I can't. Probably should.
Not
We'll
all
just
drugs are
leave it
bad.
there on the table, and you can make your own opinion.
Are drugs bad or are drugs good?
I feel like in like 100 years, we're gonna look back and be like, oh, so that drug that you took, yeah, it probably shouldn't. It should be illegal now. Like we're doing to people with cocaine and opiates. What's gonna happen?
I mean, maybe
Every
they're.
drug is bad.
Yeah. Well, most things are. All things in moderation. You can take all things to an extreme. It's like when you get into a hobby and you just go balls wild. Like, I could start this hobby with $20, but I'm gonna spend 2,000. And you're like, but you don't even know if you like it yet. You're like, no, I'm gonna love it.
I am not resembling that, I think.
I do it with some stuff. You're terrible with moderation.
Silently pushing bag of craft supplies away from me. I totally didn't just go buy more.
Yeah, you have to be moderate with people too.
I
All
have a
things.
cap of 20 people, and when I meet that 21st person, I gotta figure out who's getting kicked off the list.
100%. That's facts.
Could you imagine someone just like sends you a letter? I am sorry to inform you, you have become the 21st person and are no longer needed in my friend group. Goodbye.
Thank you for your contribution, but at this time, your services are no longer required.
We will keep your file on, or your application on file in case we need a replacement in the future.
If opportunities arise, you will be at the top of the list.
Or the 5th.
Also, do you like just keep a rating? You're like, hey, John, nah, we don't do that here. You went from 3 to 19.
You are now at the shit end of the list, so if I meet someone new, know you're being kicked.
And do you let them all know each other's numbers?
Yeah, when they walk through the door, I'm like, here's your place card. It shows that you're number 2. My mother would be like 18.
18?
Yeah. She was 19, but well, then she got a boyfriend and I had to bump her up to put him on the list.
Touche. Touche.
That's the
Also, does
sad
it
part.
change?
We have more than 20 people in our family that we see on a regular, which means some of them I just can't talk to.
Just keep that in mind, family. Your time could be limited. Fuck around and
Don't have
find
more
out.
children. Too many children means the list just made you closer to the end.
The shorter amount of time that you've been in the family, the higher your number is, probably.
Because you haven't irritated me yet. Could you imagine doing that legit to your own family? I have 3 sisters, and I'm sorry, but sister number 1, you are now 19 on my list.
All right, but maybe some people need to be humbled in that manner. So I know you think you're a 1, but we took a poll. You're actually 16.
Well, because of recent people going away, I can honestly say you're my number 2.
Aww. You're
You
my
have a
number
long way to
2.
go before you get kicked off the list.
You don't have to go crawl into your rock. You are easily in the top 5. You're fine.
Yeah, I don't know yet if it's a 3 or a 4, but we'll go with the top 5.
Depends on the day. Because I don't know if you know this, but you're usually the one that has to call with the bad news. I understand you didn't ask for the responsibility, but like Spider Man, you just have to do it.
On those days, you go down to a 4.
That would be really wild, though. Like, you just show up at a party and people start handing out numbers. Also, do you think that the numbers
Family
would...
reunions.
Does everybody get their own number from different people, or do you
Yeah,
just
you'd have
collectively decide at a birthday party like who's gonna, like, the birthday person would always be number one?
you have like color coordinated number, like those circles for like yard sales.
Oh yeah, the color dots.
So you're like, you're yellow, so you put all your numbers on yellow stickers and hand those out. I'm green, I'll hand out all the green stickers. And
Also,
so at the
I
end of the
feel
day, you
like
can be like, oh, Kiwi likes me more than Fox because I got a 17 from her and a 20 from him.
I think it would be fine. Also, like, is it an honor that you're included in the 20? Or would you still feel bad if you were somebody's 20?
I guess it depends on how many people that person knows. Because, like, in our case, that means your family. Like, it takes a lot for someone outside of family to get on the list.
That is facts. But
So
then there's
therefore,
also a couple people in the family that you're like,
yeah, but that's what I'm
"Mm."
saying. So as a like a friend, if you're like in the top 20, you'd be like, ah, I kicked off a family member. That's like gold star territory.
I think that's fair.
I like
Also,
this new system.
we can update everybody in the family Discord. Just randomly start assigning numbers.
You can like make patches and wear them because that's like your military status in the family. I've made it to number 8.
Also, I think I would prefer to be like in the bottom 17, 18, 19, 20, because then my expectations are so low at that point.
Oh my god. And certain people, if you're like their number 20 or 21, you can be like, no, don't talk to me. I'm not on your list. Remember, we're not friends.
I like to keep my expectations low so when I do cool stuff, everyone's like, holy shit. And I'm like, I know, right? Wild.
No, that's just life in general. Oh my god, you woke up and combed your hair today?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think we're just broken.
That,
We're broken
that might
people.
be-
Not enough LSD in our life.
I don't really know how to go about getting LSD, or I would help you out.
I'm good. I think I'd be terrifying on that.
I think I would probably just cry a lot.
Have hallucinations. Start screaming.
Though, yeah. Yeah.
I just feel like I'd fall in the bad trip category. That's my luck. And I wouldn't see cute little Mothman. I would see the like terrifying rip your face off style of Mothman.
It might be fun. For a minute.
For you.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You have to have good friends.
So, do we think Mothman has moth wings and therefore they're like fluffy?
Well, okay, this is very bird-like. Traditional Mothman. Pretty bird-like, right?
Yeah. But see, that's more like moth wings.
Yeah. Which also,
Yeah.
these wings have to have moth dust on them, right?
And like moths, if you like remove that, does it make it so they can't fly?
Hmm.
Therefore, if one like tried to attack you, you could like easily break its wing and then it run because they wouldn't have good legs.
All I can think about right now is this right here. The dog hates the glitter attack.
Clearly.
Like you just punch Mothman and his
Glitter goes everywhere.
yeah. I feel like that would be kind of
I'm just
distracting.
saying, because moths aren't really known for hurting people.
No.
Like a fly, people have been bitten by.
Yeah.
But moths, you never hear of that. So therefore, I would like to think that if I got attacked by a Mothman, I would just punch it, because unlike Bigfoot or Nessie, it's not known for killing people.
I mean, yeah, like I said, he's just Nostradamus. He's just trying to look out for you. He
Well,
just
then he
wants to
wouldn't be
protect
attacking
you.
me. I'm
Maybe
saying if
he's
he
not.
attacked.
Maybe he just wants a hug. And people just misinterpret his advances because he's kind of awkward.
I mean, that's why you should ask if people are okay with hugs, because I'm not, and I punch people. We already learned this.
I am from some people during certain moments.
Yeah, but you usually have warning.
Oh, yeah. If somebody just comes up to me unprovoked and tries to hug me, I am not okay with that. Like, I just go stiff bodied. Like, what are we doing? I don't like this. I don't know you.
Start crying.
Yeah.
Why did you touch me?
Yeah. Like, I don't like that. Like, if I know you. So, like, for instance, if I'm going out to dinner with a bunch of people, like, let's just say, like, a birthday dinner. Let's say we're going to birthday dinner. It's Grandpa's birthday. If I show up to Grandpa's birthday and Grandpa gives me a hug and is like, thanks for coming, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, but I feel like, see, again, you have warning, because you know when you get out there, he's probably going to hug you.
Yeah.
Either to say hello or to say goodbye, or both.
Or like romantic partners, totally fine.
Yeah, but it's not like you're just walking down the street, he sees you on the sidewalk and is like, hug!
Or like somebody you haven't seen in a long time, like your third grade teacher, and they're like, bring it in. And you're like, I would rather fucking die. I don't know where you've been. Mm-mm. Not about that life.
I don't know where you've been. It's like, I don't eat food out of kids' hands because I don't know where they've been.
Oh, yeah. Like, I would never share a bag of chips with a child. Yeah, cooties. Mm-mm. Like, kids are like, you want a chip? I'm like, nope. Because I
Sure
bet some of
do.
those are
And it goes
soggy as
straight
shit.
in the- No, you take it because you're nice, and then it goes straight in the trash.
Yeah, you can't share chips with very many people. There's some people I'm okay with sharing my chips with.
That's why at like events where we have bags of chips, I'm like, oh, those were just opened. Yank. I took a handful. I'm good now.
You pour them on a plate. That's fair. I also am a double dipper. Like, okay, hold on. Not just randomly. Like, if I'm in my own house, in the comfort of my home, eating
Or
chips
the
and
dip on your
salsa,
plate.
yeah, like, I'm double dipping that shit. If you choose to share with me, that's on you if you die. I'm confident in
It's
that.
fine. We have the same cooties.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you're siblings.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
We share drinks.
I share drinks with Katie, even though I don't always want to. I just look over and she's chugging my soda. Like, what the shit are we doing?
Oh yeah, she's foul when she drinks. I don't know how you taught that kid to drink, but it's wrong.
I don't choose to share with her. She just takes. She is a tiny terrorist.
That's not so tiny anymore.
Hope you had a good lunch. Enjoy your work day. Hopefully you get off at a decent time.
Sorry there wasn't much Mothman talk. He's just kind of boring.
We got
But
distracted with drugs.
in fairness, there's not much more to say.
There's really not. Like, he's
That's why I was
relatively
curious.
modern. So there's not a lot going on with him.
That's why I was curious if maybe there was another cryptoid that he could be.
And I say no. I mean, maybe
Yeah.
something super obscure.
Well, like you said, maybe like the bat one, but
Mm-hmm.
he's, I think, pretty recent as well.
Well, and there's not a lot on him either.
Yeah, because he's fairly recent.
Well, and he's like a demon flyer, so they think that he's either a giant bat or like, what are those pea dinosaurs? A pterodactyl.
P dinosaur.
So I don't even know that you would classify that as the same kind of deal.
Yes. Since it too is rarely seen. And if we're to go by kill, it's all just a hallucination of the same being.
They're just making you see them as giant moths. Oh yeah, don't nail yourself to anything. That would be weird.
And painful.
Remember, safety is #1 priority.
Or number 3. Safety third.
What comes first and second?
Everything else.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Snacks
you
are
need
#1 priority.
followed by coffee, followed by safety. Like, if your jerky's being eaten by Bigfoot, you take him out. Then you worry
With the
about the
nail gun.
consequences.
Nail guns kind of freak me out a little, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I've seen, okay, this is kind of gross, but I've seen where someone was framing something and they were using their foot to hold the board up and the nail shot through the board. And so now I'm terrified of nail guns.
Okay, but that's like, don't be a dumbass.
Well, agreed, but that's usually how people get hurt.
Fair?
Like, you become too accustomed to something, and so you take
Comfortable?
less, yeah, you take less safety. Because you're like, oh, I've used this nail gun for 40 years. What could go wrong? And then something does.
You shoot yourself in the foot. I got you.
Yeah.
I also feel like on the flip side, you just have those moments where you're like, oh shit, there's a mouse. I could probably hit that with the nail gun. Yeah, we're driving to work in robot mode. Well, they say that most accidents happen within a 5-mile radius of your house because that's where you're most comfortable driving because you do it all the time.
Yeah, and you'd zone out.
I don't worry about how many lights I run because I don't think I do that often. And I've never ran anybody off the road. I have, however, sat at a stop sign waiting for it to turn green. I've done that.
I ran one red light a long time ago
I ran.
because I was on my way home after dropping my husband off at work, and where he worked at the time, I would be driving at like 6 in the morning,
So
so no
nobody's
one else
there?
was on the road, and I just ran the red light, and I was halfway through it when I'm like, ah,
Whoops.
shit, good thing no one was here.
You do 90 in the 70s? I drive like a grandma.
I drive like our grandma, where I'm like going 45. I look down, I'm like, ah, shit, this is a 25. Gotta slow this shit down.
Yeah,
My
I don't
bad.
do that. I'm a pretty
I,
cautious driver.
I try to be. There's just sometimes that you're like, this road feels like a 40.
You don't like when the signs don't change? I know. You sit there forever and you're like, why is this taking? God damn it, I'm stupid.
I mean, at least no one was behind you. Remember that time? What was it, last week when we went for coffee and someone honked at
Yeah. Like
as
the
soon as the light
light had just turned green. It had not even been like 2 milliseconds, and this dude is laying on the horn behind us. Like, bro, where you gotta be that you're in such a damn hurry?
Like, I was already pulling forward because I had enough time to react with taking my foot off the brake, and he's like, "Ah."
What is going on?
Maybe he thought I was turning, and
Oh,
therefore was
maybe.
like, why didn't you turn right? And I'm like, because my blinker's not on, dumbass.
Except for we weren't anywhere near the turn lane because we were in the far lane.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, I think he was just a dick. Next time, you just stop on the gas or on the brake, and I'll get out and punch him in his mouth.
No. Like we had to tell Dad all the time, people can have guns here.
Okay, what if I just mentally punch him in the mouth?
Okay.
Okay.
You can envision that while I continue driving to get away from the psychopaths.
Okay. That works for me.
What I got from this is you're no longer driving when we're together.
I got a message from the courier. They sent this very detailed text message about when they can come pick my stuff up. They ended it with ciao for now. Like, what is this? Huh. Okay. I don't really know the professionalism that we've got going on here, but whatever.
They're
Yeah.
happy.
Ciao for now.
They're having a good day.
They really are. For some reason, like, my timers are not working correctly, which is pissing me off.
Your timers for what?
Well, like my stream sticker thing that comes up in chat,
Oh,
just like on a timer. But the rest of my timers are not working.
I understand now.
Yeah. But I made these super cool shirts. Like the Nessie boat tour shirt. And we were talking about maybe doing a shirt giveaway at the end of the cryptid thing. And I think, if I am not mistaken, we can pick as far as like, if you win, you can pick any of these shirts. So you could have your very own cryptid shirt.
You can join the squad.
Yeah. I think that would be fun. And then we also talked about on Halloween doing urban legends. I know you seen them. Yeah, I think a shirt giveaway would be fun. Because they're kind of cute. Well, I'm proud of it anyway. I think it's cute.
It's your baby.
Yeah, I'm going to totally toot my own horn on this one.
You should have grabbed a photo so you could put it up.
Oh, I can. I has it.
Be a professional salesperson.
I'm not a professional. Like,
You
I'm
can
just
do
impressed that
that.
I turned my mic on this time. Like, baby steps. All right? Right. But this. Again, I think it's adorable.
I like it.
Like someday I would love to get a tattoo of just chibi baby cryptids.
You could do a sleeve. It would be amazing.
I agree. I think it would be awesome. I think it looks nice too. I'm proud. If everyone can just give me the pat on the back, that would be great.
Head pets.
I've thought about changing the head pat thing to being a skeleton hand.
That would be cool.
Yeah. I think it would be fun.
It was that goddamn Loch Ness monster again.
Yay.
We like the
Nessie's
lock.
probably my favorite.
Yeah?
I just like Kelpies.
That's
They're just
fair.
so cool.
Mothman's still my favorite.
I like Batman.
I don't know that Batman's a cryptid, but we'll go with it. We'll go with it.
Could you imagine? People flock to New York every year to try to find Batman.
Would you go, though? That's the question. Because I would 100% go to the Mothman Festival. I would probably go to a Loch Ness Festival.
Yes, I would go to a comic book convention.
No, you just have to go and try to run around the city trying to find him. You can't go to a comic book convention because you know there's going to be 87 of them. That's cheating.
You just walk up to random people. Can you talk, sir? Nope, not a deep enough voice. Moving on.
I like to refer to when there's certain voices you can use to get results, right? Like when your kid's being a dick, you have to use either the bat voice or the dad voice.
Which in some cases is the same voice.
Truth. Like if I have to bust out the dad voice, you know you're in trouble.
I just remember having that conversation with our mother about her dogs. She's like, it doesn't work. And you were like, no, you talk like this. And the dog immediately was like, oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
You have to. You have to. Sometimes you just have to use the voice. I feel like the equivalent, you either use dad voice or mom look. Like mom look is scarier than dad look.
That is true, at least in our case.
Well, even like with our grandparents.
Yeah, I was more scared of grandma
Yeah.
on either side.
But not when grandma was yelling, right? You'd just be like, what in the hell are we doing here? But if she gave you the look,
Yeah, you ran.
yeah. On the flip side, if grandpa gave you the look, you'd be like, what in the shit is he doing? But if he were to yell at you and use the dad voice, that would be terrifying.
I'd have to envision this because I don't think he ever did that growing
That's
up.
what I'm saying. It would
We
be
never pissed grandpa off.
terrifying. It would be scary. I wouldn't like it.
Though, let's be real, grandma on dad's side of the family, if she yelled, that's terrifying.
Yeah? I
Yeah,
agree
don't
with
think
that.
she ever yelled when we were young.
No, I don't think so.
She was like a proper lady.
Is that a thing? I don't think
Yeah.
anybody's ever going to say that about me.
No. Because, like, proper ladies are like 1950s housewives.
I mean,
You have to admit, she definitely fit that
oh yeah.
category.
Oh yeah.
You could
100%.
see her wearing pearls just because it's a Wednesday. She didn't, but you could totally see it.
Yeah. Yeah. That is fair.
She also probably punished us more than anyone else.
She was mean in her own way. Like, she wasn't mean, but she was mean. You know what I'm saying?
She kept us in line
Yeah.
without like spanking or yelling. We did not want to piss her off.
No, not at all. Because
And
again,
then when we,
terrifying.
socialize with other people, we're like unhinged.
Yeah. We might have some childhood trauma, my dude.
I don't think it's a might. I think we have trauma. It's still ongoing.
Yeah. It builds character, though. So I'm good
I
with
mean,
it.
that's something.
I'm fine with it. You wouldn't have stories to tell people. To tell your top 20.
Well, let's be real. I think that's why we have a top 20.
21 is just too much.
I can't be normal that long.
What do you mean, wow? We're just spitting facts over here, okay?
Well,
You talked to
underst-
7 people? Okay, we have a pretty decent sized family, though.
yeah, we have like 24 just on one side
When we're all together.
that we see like every week.
Or at least talk to on a regular basis. You talk to 7 people and 7 of them are your sisters?
Yeah, see, in that case, we have 2.
12 aunts and uncles. We have... Are we counting spouses? You don't talk to your family? We don't talk to my dad's side of the family so much, but like, we're pretty close with my mom's side of the family.
Yeah, see, our
Would my family
is
care about
like-
me if I was dying?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, we all show up to a birthday party. Like, the 24 people are just like the bare minimum of birthday party invites.
Which
and-
is funny because, okay, for my mom's birthday, her boyfriend at the time, like last year, that was his first birthday with mom, right? And
I
he
believe so.
he was like, "Ah, I thought we could throw a birthday party for your mom." And I was like, "Okay." And he was like, "We could do it at my apartment." And I was like, "No, we can't." And he was like, "Why? You don't want to hang out at my apartment?" And I was like, "I have no problems with your apartment. But you understand that if everybody comes, that's like 20 people inside your apartment. Like, I'm not trying to be like, we should do this at my house because I'm the shit. No. Trust me. I don't always like to host. But it makes the most sense because I have one of the bigger houses. It's kind of like we wouldn't go to your house for mom's birthday. That would be chaos and you would hate it. And everyone else would too.
Agreed. I like being able to leave.
So I'm like, I don't care. Like, we can hang out at your apartment if you really want to, but I don't think we can have my mom's birthday there. That's
Yeah,
not
'cause
gonna
it's kind of
work.
like the 24 people are just automatically invited. Like, you don't even
Yeah.
have to call and be like, this is a thing. They call you to be like, we still doing birthdays on this date?
You're like, yeah.
Guess. That is a thing.
Like, I can't imagine not having a birthday party and inviting my aunts and cousins to it.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
I know we're the weird ones, but weird.
Well, we were talking about this because, well, we were talking about winning the lottery. And I was like, there are some people in my family that I would want, like, I would want to take care of everybody, but I don't think you could just be like, here's $2 million, right? Like, there would have to be stipulations, I guess, as far as I wouldn't want to give you money just to give you money. I would want you to do something with it.
Oh yeah, like how Dad was like, if he won the lottery, he'd buy us businesses.
Yeah. Or like, I would take care of my cousin's kids as far as college education goes, right? Like, not even a question. Because I feel like those kids are more like my nieces and nephew than my actual nieces and nephew. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes. I was like, you don't have nieces and nephews, but you do.
Yeah. A lot of them.
Technically, I do too.
Yeah, see, you try not to plan parties and then everybody's calling you and they're like, hey, I know it's your birthday. What are you doing?
This happens every year. We know we're on the list. When is it?
What you want me to bring?
You already have this planned, right? And you're like,
No.
I was gonna skip this year, but I guess I'll make a cake.
Sometimes, though, I think it's an excuse, too. Like, I really want to do this as far as cooking goes. Like, I made a pickle soup, and I'm like, if it's gross, I don't want to be stuck with all this pickle soup. Ooh, I'll take it to Grandpa's.
Was it made with a good brand of pickles?
No, I used the cheapest fucking pickles I could find. I know. The audacity. It was pretty banging soup, though. It was good.
I disagree, but I don't like dill pickles, so dill flavored soup was not really my thing.
Yeah, it was amazing. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's an excuse sometimes. You're like, I really want to do this thing, but I
Or
don't want to
you're
do it
like, I
alone.
really feel like this dessert, but it feeds too many people and I don't want it for that long. Oh, a party's coming up. I'll bring dessert.
Yep.
Wink, wink.
Yep. I really feel like smoking meatloaf. What are you doing Saturday? It wasn't.
enough.
It was enough.
It was enough. Hey, I still tried it. I still said it was good for what it was.
It was.
Just, I didn't want a whole bowl to myself.
Well, I didn't want a whole pot at my house.
I don't blame you.
It was good, though. I would make it again, to be fair.
Have you ever noticed you do a lot of weird pickle recipes, like your ranch pickles?
Yeah, I really like pickles. I will not be apologizing.
I didn't say you should. I just asked if you realized you do this a lot.
Yeah, pickles are the best. Yeah, pickle soup.
Didn't your daughter find it on like TikTok or something?
Yeah, probably. I think so. And then we made it, and it was pretty banging.
It was actually pretty good.
Better if you actually like pickles, though.
Yes.
So just keep that in mind. I'll send you the recipe so you can give it a go. It's kind of a consistency of like potato soup.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
It sounds worse than it is.
You just make it and you don't tell people what it is.
Oh, agreed.
Because honestly,
Like, we made a cheeseburger and fry casserole with elk meat, and my dad and mom were both like, "No, we don't eat elk." And they went back for seconds and then asked after the fact what it was.
Yeah, I can't. I don't care how well you season it.
No, you really couldn't taste the elk in it. The
Not a
problem
fan.
was when my husband microwaved the leftovers the next day, and I'm like, blah,
Yeah, I
no,
can't.
you get to finish these. But it wasn't too bad the first day.
I can't even do like game jerky. It's just not my thing. Well, sometimes you have like microwave leftovers.
Yeah, you don't microwave it from the get-go.
Yeah. Like if I have leftover meatloaf, I'm just gonna throw that bitch in the microwave. No, I'm not using the oven. That takes 27 minutes.
We are lazy people. If it's not microwaved, it's fried back up in a frying pan on high heat.
Yeah. Some things are okay to reheat in the air fryer. Like pizza in the air fryer, that's totally fine. But for the most part, I want instant
Chicken.
gratification. I can't.
Chicken's usually
Nope.
pretty good in the air fryer.
I can't eat leftover chicken.
Mothman.
I would love to have a pact with Mothman. He owes me a lifetime supply of tasty moth snacks. Yeah, that's my dream. Chilling with Mothman, eating snacks. Discussing if we microwave food. Leftover chicken just, I don't know, I can't do it. It tastes wrong.
Oh, I was saying to cook it.
Oh,
Like,
to cook it's fine, yeah.
chicken cooks pretty well in an air fryer. The only leftover chicken I've ever done, we just pan fried it and put it in burritos.
Yeah, that would be maybe okay. I don't know, I just don't like it. It just tastes like a wet dog to me. Just
That's why we
can't.
have to pan fry it, because then it like goes crispy and you mask the flavor.
Yeah. Oh, the
But I think
lies
we
we
ran out
live.
of Mothman a long time ago.
Yeah.
So
Mothman just doesn't have the history. Like, Mothman's still my favorite. I am going to confidently say, in my opinion, Mothman is a no-go for me.
yeah, I have a hard time believing in Mothman. I want him to exist.
Yeah.
I just don't think he does.
Yeah, same. That's my hot take of the day. And Mothman's my favorite.
I mean, he has the cutest plushies.
But logistically, I can't. It's a no. It's a no from me.
Yeah, I have to believe that if it was anything, it was probably the white crane.
Yeah, I could see that.
And knowing that there was probably a lot of fog to like mask it makes more sense of why you would
And the
maybe not
screeching
see a bird
situation, more bird-like than
moth.
bug-like, yeah. So I think Nessie's a possibility for me, but Mothman's a no.
I would agree with this.
For now, anyway. We're 1 for 1.
Well, 1.5.
I'm sure there was something going on. I just don't think
Well,
it
I
was a
should say
Mothman.
a half to 1.
Yeah.
Because Nessie is like half and half. It could go either way. If people said they didn't exist, I'd be like,
Okay.
alright. It could just be otters or whatnot.
Yeah. That's fair.
But it is a possibility.
Possible.
I gotta be real honest though. I think I'd rather hug Nessie than a Mothman.
Nessie would be slimy. Like a
Not
fish.
necessarily.
Like a fish.
Not necessarily. When dogs get wet, they aren't slimy.
Yes, they are.
No, they're just wet.
Yeah, see, in the dark, your mind plays tricks on you. You imagine stuff. We have to presume that it's at least some cases drug related.
Yeah.
But I'll do up a Mothman shirt. Get that
And
on
it will
there.
be adorable.
Yeah. I'll make sure. Maybe we'll take this little lemonade Mothman. Oh, maybe I'll just do a Mothman lemonade stand. That'd be cute.
That would be cute. And moths like nectar.
Yeah. I would buy lemonade from a Mothman.
I would too. I just wouldn't want to hug it.
No,
I have a thing about, not being glitterified.
I would love it. It's a dream of mine to just be covered in moth glitter.
Gross.
It's 2023. We don't kink shame here.
It's like pixie dust.
But Bigfoot next week.
I'm excited for.
I am too. And then send in your urban legends. We've got a handful, but always open to suggestions. New shirt. Tell your friends.
It's
And
coming
horror
back.
games this week.
Yay!
We're talking about maybe doing some co-op horror.
Yep.
So I think it'll be a good time. Gotta play the spooky stuff while I have an excuse to make myself play it. Because
While you
otherwise
need
I'm
an
just not.
excuse.
I do play some horror stuff, but it's not my favorite. Everything just makes me jump.
October
Even
17th,
when it's not
Alan Wake
scary.
2.
I know. I definitely want to co-op that with you.
Will do. I have it pre-ordered.
Yeah.
It will be amazing.
We'll do a little Alan Wake recap. That way everybody's up on the story. I think for the most part, everyone knows the Alan Wake story, but in case you don't.
And Control. Is there a
Alan
some-
Wake comes out, part 2 comes out the 17th, you said?
Yep.
Yeah. 17th.
October 17th.
We'll probably play that on release day. Or shortly thereafter.
Yeah.
17th is a Tuesday, so we'll have another cryptid. And then maybe in the afternoon we'll play some Alan Wake 2.
And it should be amazing.
Yeah. I think it'll be fun.
I have been looking forward to this for ages.
Just a little bit. It's been a minute, so I'm excited. Control was okay. I'm not dissing on Control, but it wasn't an Alan Wake, right?
Not until the DLC. The DLC made it Alan Wake.
I
But they
liked
do
it
have-
too. I'm not saying I didn't like
They
it.
do have characters coming from Control. At least one that they've confirmed.
Like, it was good. I'm just saying it's not Alan Wake.
Yeah, I would have to say Alan Wake, American Nightmare, then Control, which is the order that they came out.
Also, go follow Fox. That way when we stream our horror games, you can come watch them. American Nightmare was good. I liked it.
Though technically not canon.
Yeah, that's fair.
They have come out and said that. It was like a thought experiment.
Yeah. But it was decent.
And it's
That's
harder
fun.
than the original Alan Wake.
An arcade game?
It kind of is, yes. But its normal mode is like Alan Wake Nightmare mode.
But also I
So,
think you should just play it so that you have the experience.
oh, agreed. And I can see how they could have made it canon.
And maybe they'll confirm that some of it is canon at some point.
Yeah, I just know that they've come out and said that it's not technically canon.
There's just been a big wait,
But
I
I would
feel
still
like, for the
say,
second part.
if you like Alan Wake, you should play the second game.
Agree.
Or I guess 0.5, 1.5.
It's decent. It's an experience.
I just love the whole series. I have a problem.
I want to play some Eldritch horror games.
Like the date sim.
I do want to play the cryptid date sim. That's probably going to happen.
That's what I'm excited for.
I do appreciate a good date sim from time to time. Yeah, the H.G. Wells ones are decent. I have The Land of Pain and the Alien Cube to play through. A Cthulhu Maid Lady? Yeah, you should check out the cryptid dating sim. I'll send a link to you. It's good stuff. And then Katie wants to do a bunch of itch.io horror, so we'll probably do that at some point. We're gonna wait until she feels a little bit better because she has been miserable.
But spooky plans all month.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good time. All right, do we want to go watch Starfield or Minecraft? What are we feeling? I'm good with either. I'm not
I
picky.
don't care.
We gotta rate into somebody.
Both are fun.
All my friends stream at night now. Well, they always have. I just don't anymore. Well, I do too, but less frequently.
My household is demanding that I
It is.
acknowledge it's almost lunchtime.
It is lunch o'clock. I know. I've done decent, all right? I probably should have streamed our Devour experience, but I didn't. Oh yeah, you finally made it to lunch. See? Cottage cheese lunch, decent. I would have ramen.
So maybe Starfield?
Yep.
Because you do Minecraft on your channel?
We'll go check out some Starfield. Mm. Oh. You can get my back ready to pop.
Nice.
Yeah, should be. All right, we'll be back with some horror stuff. Maybe tomorrow?
Maybe.
Yeah.
We will try.
Enjoy your Tuesday. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Peace.